What's going on, beautiful people? And welcome back to another comic book review video. I'm your majestic sayer of words, SuperCliff, and if you guys are new to this channel, then do me a solid by smashing that like and subscribe button, and also hit that notification bell so that you'll never miss out on an upload and that you will always be kept up to date with your favorite top tier comics happening in the comic book world. And today, folks, we are back, continuing with Marvel's new Beyond era of everyone's favorite friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, with The Amazing Spider-Man issue number 76, written by the amazing Zeb Wells, with the art by Patrick Gleason. And if you haven't been keeping up with this comic book series, then check out the playlist within this video's description. It will help catch everyone up with what's been happening. Now, as Peter Parker and Ben Reilly continue to wrestle for the mantle of Spider-Man, forces of evil are mounting in the darkness against both men, or both men, one clone, and the unthinkable has happened. Zeb Wells and Patrick Gleason will remind you why you love and hate comics. Thus, without further ado, let's get this show on the road. Alrighty, folks, so our story picks up with Aunt May getting a call from Peter from the ER at the McCarthy Medical Institute, but immediately she knows that it wasn't her nephew. And we soon find out that it wasn't, because at McCarthy, Dr. Burdock, who assumes that Peter and Ben are twins, asks Ben about what happened to his brother given his toxicosis and signs of radiation poisoning. When Ben confirms it was ionizing radiation, he flees when the doctor intercepts a worried Mary Jane, who comes barging in after a call from Ben posing as Peter. And while the ER team races to treat Peter's convulsion, his spider sense warns him of a danger, and he realizes something within his body is in danger. Something within him is trying to kill him. Now, at Beyond Tower, while tracking Ben's return, Marcus insinuates to Janine the need to convince Ben about being in contract with his employer. Ben explains how he had to help the other Spider-Man upon his return. Satisfied with the update, Marcus orders him to a mandatory rest period before hunting down the UFOs again, as their PR will suffer if they are out too long. And also, Marcus schedules a session with Dr. Ashley Carfa for later on. While a worried Ben tells Janine that he had to leave Peter in bad shape at the hospital, Aunt May arrives at McCarthy Medical Institute just as Peter barely regains consciousness. With Mary Jane's aid in establishing an alibi for when the UFOs attacked ESU, Aunt May looks for Dr. Burdock to demand answers to Peter's medical condition. At Beyond Tower, Misty Knight and Colleen Wing present Ben with new gear to combat the UFOs. After an offhanded remark by Marcus about Peter's condition, Ben swings off at mission launch to visit Peter in the hospital. Once there, Ben Reilly informs Peter that his preliminaries seem positive with his organs still functioning, despite the levels of radiation he took, giving Peter and Mary Jane some hope of recovery. Afterwards, Dr. Burdock goes to radiology to see the results of Peter's tests. Mary Jane directs her aggression and blames the arrival of a guilt-ridden Ben, who arrives seeking Peter's blessing to be Spider-Man. Peter is taken back by this, but after Ben explains his mindset in thinking about Ben's situation, Peter gives his blessing. Once Ben heads off, Mary Jane is happy to see Peter's kindness. However, he tells her right then and there that he cannot feel his body, as he wanted to tell her once Ben was out of earshot. From there, the doctors race in and are forced to put Peter in a medically induced coma. Peter can sense his body trying to shut down, as he tries with all his willpower to resist, as his mind ebbs away into blackness. At the UFO's gathered location, the team argues about something amiss with regards to their job, and with them being in the country. And then from there, Ben Reilly ambushes them, and takes down Vapor and X-Ray upon first contact. And once Ironclad is deflected, Vector is surprised to find that Spider-Man is facing them once more. And that, folks, was The Amazing Spider-Man issue number 76. And this was the second chapter in Beyond's storyline for The Amazing Spider-Man. And yeah, it was definitely what the cover and the synopsis suggested. That being the case that Peter Parker is being put out of commission so that Ben Reilly can take over as Spider-Man for however long Marvel wants him to stay. Now, the comic does have a great heartbreaking opening with Ben Reilly getting Aunt May and MJ to come to the hospital. It's a wonderfully well done awkward moment as Ben pretends to be someone he's not, and considering his history, it's pretty rough. The art by Patrick Gleason is great as he illustrates the characters well, which is enhanced by the colors provided by Marcelo Menzi. The comic also does a fine job illustrating the terrible condition Peter's in, the sheer anxiousness while they wait to see what his results are. Not to mention that the art looks great for every shot Ben Reilly is as Spider-Man. Now, the comic does get a bit awkward with the unpleasant position of Ben having to explain what happened to MJ, who is rightfully angry with him since the minute he showed up, Peter gets badly wounded. Plus, he keeps going back and forth between his loyalty to Peter Parker and to the Beyond Corporation, the company that is, clearly shady. Total red flags there. But Zeb Wells does a great job writing all the character interactions between Peter, Ben, and the immediate family. He gives each of them an identifiable voice that fits well with recent characterization and delivers on the story's emotional beats. However, the part that will leave people divided is how Ben ends up becoming the full-time Spider-Man, and what it means for Peter going forward. Personally, it just seems like a quick move to get Peter out of the way so that Ben can just take over and continue on with his storyline. And considering the state Peter is in by the end of this comic, I don't think he'll be active for a while, so we're sort of just stuck with Ben Reilly at the moment. But, hopefully the writers of the series, they can make him a cool and compelling Spider-Man. Here's hoping. Thus, with that being said, The Amazing Spider-Man issue number 76 gets an 8 out of 10. And guys, if you like this video, then make sure to hit the like button in order to show your support to the channel. And tell me, what are your thoughts and opinions on this issue? Are you guys excited for issue number 77? How are we feeling about Ben Reilly as the current Spider-Man? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. And until the next video, peace.